My name is George Kasagulanda. I'm welcoming you to Couldron this week. This is where it does meet. It is a program that tries to do three things. One, obviously, it picks a big story of that week or of that moment and tries to discuss it. And then it also tries to pick another big story on the international scene to discuss it. Finally, we think as a media, we have got to talk about ourselves once in a while. So this program has also taken that function to talk about ourselves. We pick an issue in the media that concerns the media and try to talk about it. As usual, I'm always joined by editors. The initial program, going to launch the program, it was 4 of us. Myself as a host, I would invite the 3 other editors to help me dissect these issues. We reduced it to 3 because of COVID-19, but with the latest upsurge in numbers, we thought it's not even good enough. So now it's just the 2 of us on the set. Therefore, allow me to welcome Mibawa Chavula, who is going to be my guest today. Mibawa, welcome.
Thank you.
Mibawa is the news editor at Blantyre Synod Radio, and she's a regular on this program. Let's take it. Segment 1. President Lazarus Chakwera disclosed on Sunday that the country has secured the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine to be administered for March this year. He said the secured doses of the vaccine would arrive in the country end this month, with initial rollout not expected until March. But the president described the good news, obviously. This is good news because the vaccine is the ultimate solution to this problem. He described it as breakthrough. Should this be the beginning of light at the end of the tunnel, or it is light at the end of the tunnel?
It is supposed to be the light, but unfortunately, looking at the comments from out there,
yes,
you really know that the government has got a big, serious job to convince people,
yes,
a certain group of people,
yes,
who are bent on actually a lot of propaganda,
yes,
to ensure that others don't take the vaccine.
Yes.
So the Ministry of Education really has a lot of work to do.
We'll discuss the propaganda, because even the president also talked about. We'll discuss it in detail. What is causing it? What probably you are going to suggest? What is the solution? But now. It is once again the donors. The president talked about some fund, COVID vaccines global access facility, COVAX. It's the one that is bankrolling this vaccine. How do you look at donors always doing things for us? Are we that hopeless? Are we that vulnerable that we can't put together our own money and buy this vaccine?
Unfortunately, in a global world, the donors have got no choice but to help us, because we still...
What do you mean they've got no choice?
We'll still be moving around. So if we have the virus and we move out or they come in, they'll get it. So they'd rather help us.
Are you boxing them? Are you boxing them that whether they like it or not, if they don't give us the vaccine, we'll come to your own country and give you the virus?
They're doing it for themselves.
Serious?
Yes.
But at the end of the day, they are also stopping us from dying, isn't it? This disease has actually claimed now almost 1,000. We're approaching 1,000 as people that have regrettably lost their lives. So even us, we were frightened, we were scared, and we want that, isn't it?
Yeah, we do. But then they also just had to help. Malawi is part of the wider world.
So you think their help is not because they love us, because they love themselves? They're afraid that if
it's about being pragmatic. It's got nothing to do with love.
They've started. America is vaccinating 1.5 million every day, according to President Joe Biden. Even Europe, UK, everyone is up in arms, vaccinating. We are following closely. In South Africa, we'll talk about South Africa very shortly. They also have some 1 million doses that have arrived. Should this probably make us say, maybe we are approaching the end of this? Maybe it's the beginning of the beginning.
And unfortunately, it's not the end, because we still have to see the effects now of the vaccine. That would take maybe 2 months or so. We'll start seeing the effects of that. After all, they've been saying that it's not really going to protect you. You can still get it. You can still transmit it. So we want to see the efficacy of it. What is the whole point of it?
So we shouldn't celebrate it anymore. We shouldn't be celebrating.
It's too early.
It's too early.
Wait until 3 months and then see what happens.
We're supposed to give people hope to give hope to people that are watching.
Maybe you need a realistic person to say the truth. We are hopeful. Actually, nowadays waking up is a bonus because you don't know what's going to happen.
When you're waking up, you're saying, "Oh, am I all right?"
Yeah.
Those are the symptoms that they're talking about.
Slight cough.
A slight cough. Your throat is itching a little. It always itches.
Yes.
The throat always itches. You say, "What is this now?"
Mm-hmm. And you go and steam.
You go exactly. You go and they're saying the steam doing too much is also bad. That's what they're saying.
Unfortunately, everyone is just doing whatever they want. You know,
Yes.
how can you? There's somebody they're steaming. They're taking all sorts of herbs. They're taking garlic. They're taking lime. There's so many things, and they end up killing themselves.
Do you think probably government should also spend time on that, advising us that what you're doing, you do it properly?
Government has spoken about it.
What have they said?
They say, beware, you might ruin your liver. All these things you're putting inside of you, you don't know the dosage of herbals. Your livers are at risk.
But it shows the hopelessness of the social, the fear that we all have. We are listening to anything. Anything goes. Somebody says chloroquine, then you rush and buy chloroquine.
That is the unfortunate bit.
There's another one. They call it what, invertimycin or something like that. Yes, I mean it's all. Probably, do you think government should do more?
Blue gum.
Yes, blue gum. Yes, blue gum and obviously lemons and the ginger and the what. It's everything. Do you think government should do more? Probably because you might think you are even on the efficacy of the things. Are they effective?
I don't know. There are some people who swear by it. They say, I had corona, then I was healed because I was taking this kind of concoction. It's only that person who actually experienced it who can tell us what's really healed them. So we cannot speak for them.
In terms of the vaccine, even the president emphasized the safety and is saying our own scientists are going to have a look at the vaccines in our own labs, laboratories, to verify the safety. And they are going to give us full information so that no one is misled by social media lies and propaganda. And I'm actually quoting him. Social media lies and propaganda against the vaccinations that the scientific community has worked so hard to save lives. How crucial is this? You started talking about the vaccine and the propaganda against it. Now let's get into it. How crucial is the fact that the scientists, our scientists, should check this, and do they have the capacity to check it, or the president is just trying to play PR here?
I don't believe they can actually announce that they are going to do it if they don't have the capacity. And I don't think it would be fair to look down on our scientists. They are scientists of international renown.
What about equipment, our laboratories? Our scientists are trained like the rest of them abroad, but when they come home, probably they don't get the equipment that they train on when they go abroad to train. To get their PhDs and the MSCs and what have you. We
have the Malawi Liverpool Wellcome Trust. We have the College of Medicine. They've got state-of-the-art equipment. So they are in partnership with Scotland and what have you. So I don't believe they.
So they are there. They are up there. We have got to. So okay, fine. You are bugging them that they have what it takes.
Yes.
How crucial to make sure that the vaccines are also tested by our own. Do you think they go to stand up and say, no, don't take this vaccine, it's a bad one?
Some of them.
Although developed at Oxford. AstraZeneca is Oxford, isn't it?
You know, the saddest thing is that everyone wants to be a scientist nowadays. There was a time people all wanted to be journalists. Now they all want to be scientists and to be the expert on corona. So I cannot speak
we must listen to all of those that we know they are qualified scientists.
Yeah,
we can't listen
they are in their labs, they know what they're doing.
Yes.
But then there are people who dedicated
Wellcome Trust and what have you.
Yeah. They've dedicated pages to talking about coronavirus and the dangers of the vaccine, and they are warning people, having video clips. You wonder, where did they get their expertise?
The president also talked about the media lies, social media lies and propaganda against the... How damaging is this?
It is very damaging. You
think someone is not going to... I was talking to Bradley Gomega, I was saying, even if they ask me to go and take it at the airport, I'm going to take it. As soon as it lands, I should take it. Do you think somebody is going to stop getting this vaccine simply because of the propaganda?
Well, one thing you have to know is that Brian is different because Brian is educated.
Yes.
But then there's a certain group of people, maybe I could put them at the MSCE. and they've read a bit of the Bible, and they decided, or rather, maybe they even got it from their prophets, that this is the end times. These are the signs. This is 666. And these are the most dangerous people, because they actually have dedicated their time to come on Facebook and discourage people from doing anything about corona. They are bringing in their booklets and saying, without this booklet, you're never going anywhere. In fact, they're just basically saying, just wait for the time to die. Because if you don't take this, you'll be like a martyr. And the martyrs were bound to die. It was prophesied in the Bible that you will die because you will not be able to buy anything. So this is the time now to stand up strong for your Christianity.
Is that bad?
It is, and I'm just happy that the major leaders have actually come out. The CCAB, the Catholic, the Anglicans, they've come out and stated very clearly. They've commended government for actually procuring this vaccine.
Does that show you the power of religion? You really think they are twisting the minds of people using religion?
Yes.
And some of them are not going to take this vaccine.
They are not going to. I'll give you an example of what happened in Area 23 the day before yesterday.
Yes, I think there was a fracas there.
There was a fracas because a prophet had told the people where to go, where a child was being hidden, which was not true. But it just shows you the power these people have. That these people actually rioted and they had to have MDF come to quell the situation because of what they had been told by a prophet. This is like a cult leader. And you've seen on social media when somebody just criticizes the prophet or something, and the way the people come out and fight you. So it's a very big situation.
In terms of dealing with these things, as a government, our government, does it deal with them, decisively, or probably they deal with it I'm thinking of the prophet. Has he been arrested and brought before a court, so that because some of the things border on criminality, isn't it? It
is criminality indeed. But so I can assure you, the cyber laws, the cyber crime laws in this country are not working, because people still.
Why is that so? If we have the laws, then why did we put?
Maybe there's nobody monitoring from Macro monitoring Facebook seriously.
What are they doing? They're instead buying clothes for parties instead of monitoring and protecting Malawians.
Because it's like an epidemic of people who have decided that they are going to police the coronavirus and its vaccine and everything else, and they've appointed themselves as the guardians. They'll be the martyrs.
And then they bring issues of 666 from Revelation, the book of Revelation, and interpreting it their own way.
That somebody didn't go to theology school and they decided that they had the calling, and they've interpreted it according to what they say the Spirit says.
And then, unfortunately, some people are following it.
So many.
And this is a disease that is killing people. Essentially, what they're doing is sending people to their own death.
Now, that is another thing that is coming out, because they are going on Facebook and saying that if you fall sick, don't go to hospital because you'll be injected with something and you will die. That is very common on Facebook, and I wonder why the Ministry of Civic Education is not really addressing that.
Part of, essentially, you're talking about religious beliefs that you're talking about, that these religious beliefs can have some effect in stopping people from taking this vaccine. What will be the solution? Is it bringing on board chiefs, religious leaders themselves, including those that are doing these things, so that we hear them out and probably argue with them and tell them that they are wrong? How should we go about it? How to certainly want people to be vaccinated? Actually, some of us are even saying, "Oh, so we don't even qualify to the 20%. When are we going to qualify? Because we want to have the vaccine in our body."
One thing that is coming out clearly is that that group of people, like the prophets and stuff, they have a lot of following.
Yes,
and indeed, they have been sidelined in this. Maybe if the government actually brought them in.
Is that the problem, that they've been sidelined?
Inside the churches.
Yes.
Speak to the people right in the communities. Don't rely on radio and TV alone. Don't rely on the car which moves around talking about stuff. Go deep into the communities. Involve the community forums. Really educate the people on what the virus is, how it works, and how the vaccine will work. Otherwise, we're fighting a losing battle.
I see. You're watching the Couldron on Times TV, and today I'm joined by Mibawa Chavula. We are talking about the vaccine that the president has promised us, announced to the nation that it is coming, so that probably we are seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. 20% of the population, 3.8 million, will be vaccinated. These are people that have underlying diseases such as diabetes. These are people that are over 65, and of course health workers who are on the front line fighting this disease. They also have to be vaccinated as the first group. We are going to take the first break. When we come back, we'll continue in this segment, and we'll continue discussing this vaccine. The president was saying, as a country, we're making progress in science. So we want to discuss that and other issues. Don't go away. Welcome back. This is the Couldron, and it's where editors meet. The idea is that the editors are the ones that really are dealing with the news on daily basis, and probably because of that experience, they have one thing or two that they can say on the news. Today, I'm joined by Mibawa Chavula. Mibawa is news editor at Blanda Synod Radio, and we are discussing the vaccine that is coming to help, stop the ravaging COVID-19, as well as other issues surrounding this pandemic that has so far claimed near 1,000 people from Malawi. But we're talking about science, and the president said we are making progress. In fact, we were able to know that we have a strain of the disease, the South African strain, because our scientists at the Malawi Livable Wellcome Trust, the one that you talked about, at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital, had the capacity to sequence the virus, and then confirmed that the new strain is from South Africa and it is here in Malawi. Good thing, should be proud of our scientists, but at the same time, probably we should also accept that we're a long way to go, because we are looking at our own scientists developing our own vaccines.
I don't think we're being fair to them for them to say they're developing a vaccine now. We've been independent 50 whatever years.
Yes.
We haven't developed any vaccine. Why should we start now when the whole world is actually scrambling for that, and to expect poor Malawi now to also go that far?
So we shouldn't be ambitious.
We should be, but I don't believe we have the capacity now, and we should enforce it.
We should enforce the capacity to develop it. Now, let's talk about the number of people that are going to benefit as the first group to benefit. 3.8 million, 20% of the country's population. We are roughly 18 million of us. Not even half of us who get vaccinated first batch. What should we do? The target should be all of us. In fact, you were talking about the West, that probably the West, donors in the West are helping us, because they know if they don't help us, then we'll go to load into planes and fly to their own airports and give them the vaccine. The target should be all of us then. Even here in Malawi, it should be all of us that should be vaccinated.
But all across the world, it's not like they're beginning with the whole country or what. They're starting with a certain demographic, the same as we are also starting here.
But they are quite ambitious. In America, probably because there are 300 billion of them, 1.5 million every day.
But they also started with the frontline workers and the elderly, which is also the case, I think, in the UK. I think in the UK now it's almost across the board, because they say they'll be done by March. So we cannot compare ourselves with those. We are the beggars.
Do we have hope that probably after this group it was to come and then things are going to happen? The world seems to agree that probably this is the solution to this problem.
At some point, it will trickle down to everyone. And they also talked about herd immunity. If they see that this group has gotten it and it has stabilized, maybe others won't get it.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah. It will be reduced. Therefore, probably the number of people that are getting it will reduce.
Yeah. So
exactly. Let's look at the choice of the first beneficiaries. Frontline health workers. That's right, isn't it? These are the angels that are confronting the disease every day, testing people, treating them. These are angels of mercy. So probably you want them protected, isn't it? You have those with diabetes, lung and heart conditions, and then those aged 65 and above. How old are you, Mibawa? Oh, you can't say it on television.
I'm 42.
The point is, you seem to be 20 years, more than 20 years, falling short of
So I will fall into the group which will just get the immunity without the vaccine.
The immunity. But probably even those, that's fine, isn't it? You look at those that have lost lives. Some of them is because of those diseases, diabetes. The sad part is that they were managing. Most of them were managing it. In fact, all of them were managing it. But this disease came and then it knocked them off.
But isn't there a danger that because they're already vulnerable and their bodies are already weak, if they get a vaccine which is normally strong, won't it finish them off?
Well, probably the scientists have seen that. They've seen that. Even abroad, they are targeting the same people. So probably they have seen that it's going to help them.
Another thing we have to think about, George, is that in Malawi, we don't have that culture of going for checkups when we are not sick.
Yes.
Most of the time we go to hospital because
When
something
we are sick.
is seriously wrong.
Exactly.
So I could have underlying diseases and not know about them because I've been feeling fine throughout.
That's right.
That's another challenge. That's
right.
About.
So probably that's what the Minister of Health, apart from telling us to go to the hospital, they should also have those campaigns that they run, telling us to go and check. Of course they do, but
it's not as serious.
It's not as serious as I've seen some campaigns. They are making noise in town. They are inviting people to come and do this, come and do that. Why can't they? I remember when HIV was up there. They were saying, let's go for HTC, isn't it? Let's go for voluntary testing. Even in circumcision, they are inviting men to I've seen some big truck in town. Probably those are things that they can do, isn't it?
Non-communicable diseases are very neglected, and that is an area that they have always complained. Those who are trying to fight for awareness, diabetes is seriously ignored.
And then those above 65, the ones that you and me are falling short of, they too must also be vaccinated. That's what they're saying. That anybody above 65, then they're taken. That's okay.
That will be now up to, I think people, when they are that age, they are now at the mercy of the children. And the children will decide, go and get vaccinated or not. Others will hide their parents.
But surely the children shouldn't do that. They should the children and grandchildren, they should save their grandfather and the father and the grandmother and the mother, because they need them around. You don't want to lose a parent.
That's true.
He's like an insurance cover.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so that's fine. Then the vaccine itself, AstraZeneca, that's the name, because the storage is to 8 degrees, it can survive, and obviously it also costs less than the other two. But when you are looking at the efficacy, the effectiveness, it looks like it's the one that is a little bit low.
Beggars can't be choosers. Again, I will say that. If we feel that we want the best vaccine, then maybe as a nation, let us find the funds and do it. That is the problem of relying on donors. You get the second best.
Why are we not finding the funds? That's the question.
Now that is a very serious question.
Taxpayers' money,
billions have been released.
Yes, and some of it gets stolen.
Yeah, actually, there's a very big row over the funding that went to Dodima. We are watching with keen interest to see what happens about that.
People, the citizens want them to account for them.
Yeah.
In fact, the citizens are comparing the way that private initiative led by Saulos Chilima and Nkhani is giving updates every day.
Yes.
In fact,
procuring
every hour, and they are saying, "Well, procured this. This is what. And they're putting pictures." But government bureaucracy, they can't compare them. You think you can achieve it with the bureaucracy in government?
If the citizens really rise up and say,
this is what we want.
Citizens to post in their accounts. And the comments there, the people were ridiculing that. So,
but there will always be private initiatives. I mean, in the UK, there was this old soldier who was collecting money. People didn't say, oh, because they are giving this soldier, who died, by the way, this week. I think Captain Moore or something like that. He's died this week. he was 100.
Yes,
so, yeah, he was walking in his garden, and then people paying him. He collected 32 million, above 32 million pounds.
But then look at this way. You don't outshine the master. That's
you know what?
That's the art of war.
Yeah.
Don't outshine the master. So maybe the private citizens initiative is outshining the government initiative. That is why Dodma had to say, no, direct your funding to this particular account.
But the government has billions. This private initiative is just, we're talking of the government has
140
billions.
million,
Yes.
something like that.
In your body.
Point, yeah. So I don't think people did that. We need hope. And I think the newspapers have started writing a little
Positively.
Yes.
Yeah, positively. Probably. Anyway, we'll discuss that in the last segment. But as Malawians, you talked about the musicians taking an injunction against the task force stopping them from performing. I remember before June 23, there was also, HRDC went to court to stop the lockdown, the total lockdown
Yes,
that the DPP administration was planning. As Malawians, probably now in Nigeria would have said we seem to accept now that this disease is dangerous, and we must allow government to take charge and tell us what to do.
I think all of us were taken aback by 2021.
Yes.
Because it has taken, most of those who have gone are very prominent people.
Yes.
And that's when the reality hit. That almost the whole country knows this person and they have died of this particular disease.
Yeah.
In the past, maybe the people who were dying were people with no names.
Soda Kuzumuga.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Very dangerous.
I see. When everything is said and done, you've rated the leadership, you've rated the vaccine is coming. Should Malawians say, yes, we know that the pandemic, no fault of anybody. It came from China and it came to us. So no fault of anybody in Malawi. But we probably will start finding each other in terms of how we fight it. Looking at what has happened, should Malawians feel safe when they go to bed with their children? They will know there's a disease out there that is ravaging, but at least somebody is in control, and that probably we have got a fighting chance. Should we feel that way?
At the end of the day, it's up to you and I as individuals.
Yeah.
I always say that.
Yeah.
The president can only do so much.
Yeah.
The police can be moving around, but they cannot police my life.
They can't put a mask on you.
And they were actually told to stop beating people. Maybe when people were being beaten, they could know that I must put on a mask. But now people are moving around freely.
But still, you still see people that have no masks in town.
Yeah, and somebody was saying yesterday that in Dirand, at the time of the supposed curfew at 9, that is when they were waking up now. The whole township was alive. Bars were open.
So why is it not sinking in people?
No enforcement.
What kind of enforcement? The radios, the TVs, and the president and everybody is telling us there's a disease out there. If you want to avoid it, mask up, 1 meter distance like we are doing,
That
and
is
wash your
why
hands.
we need now the Ministry of Civic Education to step up.
So I'm saying it doesn't done.
It hasn't reached that extent that it should.
I see. On that sad note, we take another break. That we are still having people that are not wearing masks in Dirand and other places, Lilongwe as well, even in Zuzu and even in the districts. That should not happen because this disease is real and it is claiming lives. We'll take another break. When we come back, we're going to move to the second segment of the program. And today, we're not leaving COVID-19. Even in the third segment, it will still be COVID-19. But in segment 2, an international story, we are looking at South Africa. It has lifted the ban on alcohol because they have seen that the numbers have dropped. Don't go away. Welcome back. This is the Couldron on Times TV, and my name is George Kasaula. I'm joined by Mibawa Chavula, and we are looking at COVID-19 and its attendant issues. You have the vaccine that the president said by March, 20% of us will start getting it to fight the disease. We are now in segment 2 of the program. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa this week eased some restrictions imposed due to the coronavirus that causes COVID-19, and it included lifting up an unpopular ban on alcohol sales. Beaches will also reopen, and limited religious gatherings will be allowed. But the South Africans have faced 3 alcohol bans since the pandemic hit them last March. The last was imposed on 28 December, with government saying it was necessary to alleviate the pressure on the healthcare system. But it hasn't been popular with the public, and even the legal industry was saying you are killing our jobs. A difficult balancing act for any government in the world. You're looking at the economy, and then you're looking at the necessity of probably stopping certain things.
I've never understood why they had to ban alcohol. Seriously.
Why not?
But they could maybe give an allowance to say buy from but a wholesale ban that now
nobody touches it.
It didn't make any sense, especially in a nation which is known for drunkards.
South Africa,
they drink a lot.
They enjoy their
it's part of their culture.
Beer, whiskeys, and wines.
Yes.
They have a big wine industry. They have big, even beer. They have big industry.
I know that created resistance in the people. That is the government even trying to police our very private lives to the minutest detail.
Just to enjoy a drink, just buy it and then enjoy it at home. They're saying no.
Yeah, that was uncalled for.
You're going to spread the coronavirus.
That was uncalled for.
Okay, and the president is saying, please be responsible. Drink responsibly. Do you think people are going to heed that?
But by the time we've reached this level across the whole world, the reality of the people dying, I think, has hit all of us. So it will be up to me to decide whether I'll go and drink irresponsibly and catch corona out there, or buy and drink in my home. That is a personal choice.
They've also said you can now go to the beach, and the worshippers, 50 of you, can congregate inside, outside 100. Certainly, it's not like governments all over the world want to stop people from doing anything, but it's the necessity of the issue at hand.
And it's a time to step up and innovate. We are now having people having car park prayers. They did that in South Africa, even in the US.
1 meter, 2 meters away from each other.
Everyone is in their car, and then somebody with a loud hailer is somewhere preaching to you. At the end of the day, you give your offering online.
The issue mostly is offering. Even here, the resistance sadly from our religious leaders is because it's not wholly because they want to minister to us, but they're also looking at the bank account.
Yeah, they've been badly hit. But also that has also happened because people are not earning money. Companies have closed. So even if we congregate, we might congregate, but we don't have
money to give out.
Yeah.
Then you also have, this week they've received the vaccines in South Africa, the same one that the president talked about, AstraZeneca. South Africa was the worst hit on the continent, and no wonder probably they are the first to get the vaccine. Is there any surprise in that? It's a big, probably big traffic.
Economy. It's a big economy. They could afford to be among the first to get the vaccine. I'm sure theirs is not even a donation. And the traffic, obviously, we saw after the festive season, the people trying to get into South Africa. You saw the logjam at the Bait Bridge. Despite the disease, people still want to get there because that is where they can get a livelihood.
And talking of travel to South Africa, some countries banned their people going to South Africa. We did not. And I think our planes are still flying to South Africa every day.
Even if we did, they say close the land borders, but airplanes can come in.
That makes sense, isn't it? Of course, they put in place, you've got to have 72-hour certificate.
People are still traveling. We have so many porous borders, so that one wouldn't work.
And then you have some getting fake certificates.
That is
we just reported on
and these are government officials
getting fake certificates.
That is the saddest.
So it means we're not even protected.
Yeah.
Probably we should just look at this vaccine as the last thing. Otherwise, to imagine that you can shepherd the whole population is difficult. It's not possible. Unfortunately, there's a bad disease out there that is killing people that need to be controlled. This is the Couldron, and my name is George Kasagula. Just finishing there, segment 2 of the program, and we're looking at South Africa, how they're fighting the coronavirus there. We'll take the final break. When we come back, we're going to go to the newsroom, and we'll discuss something that Mibawa started. Is there too much negativity in the media that is affecting people that probably are battling coronavirus, leading some of them, regrettably, to their deaths? Don't go away. Welcome back. This is the Couldron, and we are now in the final segment. It is the newsroom. There's an accusation that the media and the media, both social media as well as the traditional media, are contributing to the spreading in spreading despondency and negativity about issues surrounding COVID-19, including death, thereby affecting those that have it. Probably they are battling it, but because of what they are hearing about so dying, it is making them worried. It is making them to be depressed. Mbao, we are being accused of causing despondency and depression. We are being accused of killing those that probably might have lived. Not a complimentary thing to be said about the media. How do you feel?
That's a bit extreme, I think. But there's one particular online paper that I've noted.
Yeah.
It's actually like it's taking pride in being the first to announce the death, especially of the prominent people. And whenever
should they not?
No, it's like they're doing it.
They're
like
breaking news.
Some kind of fun. You know, somebody dies and then the caption says, but in South Africa, somebody of such stature got a state funeral. And then the next time, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, like they're trying to bash government at the same time, being the first ones to announce the death of a certain person.
As if state funerals are, something that is in fashion.
And then there's a comparison. No, this one died. At least some government officials went. That is how the captions are going. And then you wonder, what is their agenda?
But we need to show some little compassion, right? Is that expecting too much from the media? The public is saying, please, in fact, you were talking about it, that every day is like a bulletin by Dr. John Puga to say today we have lost 10, we have lost 15. We too are carrying those things.
We are. Unfortunately, this is a brutal disease. Maybe it's because it's unprecedented. We've never lived through a pandemic, this particular generation. So we don't know how we are going to be broadcasting or publishing this.
So what role should we play? Certainly, we cannot change the fact that some people are dying daily. That we can't change. We've got to tell it like it is. But I suppose there's a role that we can play. Some are going too far, on the point of even breaking false news that some people have died prominent in our society when they haven't.
But then those who broke the fake news, I believe they are not mainstream journalists. Because as a journalist, if a prominent person dies, I expect to hear that news from NBC.
Yes.
From State House or wherever.
Yes.
And the platform is NBC.
Yes.
Or the national government platform on Facebook.
Yes.
So whenever I see something like that, I disregard until I see the official confirmation from the official channels.
So, but at the end of the day, the public probably should appreciate that we are not psychiatrists. We still, it's still journalism, and journalism is what it is, giving facts.
We are giving facts, yes, George, but this is a different time, because I'm sure all of us are putting the journalist aside. To some certain extent, we've been affected. You lose a friend, you lose a family member.